In today's Leeds news, Jorginho Rutter exit interest, James McAtee latest name linked, analyst has a new challenge, Djed Spence completes move to Leeds, Matty O'Reilly linked with Leeds, Sam Greenwood exit claim, and Bremen midfielder linked. Hiya folks, Jay here on the 30th of August with your Leeds United news. 3 days to go in the transfer window and Leeds still need to make some serious moves. We have got one confirmed this morning, but there's still gaps in this squad that need to be completed by Friday evening. Just to let you all know as well, we'll be doing a live stream at from 10 o'clock till 11 o'clock on Friday for the last hour of the window, and I'll be joined by Alex from American Leeds podcast and Michael from the American Leeds podcast as well, back to the original three that did the deadline day last year as well. So getting the boys back involved for that. Also, the one a week, if you like the channel, if you want to support us, help us grow here, you can do so by subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. That's all, and we'll crack on. We'll get into the news. We'll start off with Jorginho Rutter. This is more of a legacy story that has kind of come back up over the last couple of days, and according to Sky Sports, they claim that Borussia Dortmund made an approach to Leeds United to sign Jorginho Rutter. This comes on the back of news yesterday that Lyon were said to have made a €25 million bid for a €25 million bid for Jorginho Rutter earlier in the transfer window. It was said that at that time Leeds would have considered a sale of Rutter if they could have recouped the €35 million that they paid for him. Since then, Rutter has found a little bit of form, scored a very good goal in the game at the weekend. But now Sky Sports are saying that the German side did actually make a formal approach, a €29 million bid for the player as well. Again, Leeds rejected that bid along with €25 million bid from Lyon. It is said in this report that there is expectations that Lyon may return with a second bid for the player, but as of right now, Leeds seem to be very much in the mindset of no more players out unless Leeds want to sell. There's a couple that could go in the next couple of days as well on the back of last night's performance against Salford, and also on some of the incomings as well, which will free up players, but we'll get to that in a second. Moving on to more rumour territory than anything else. And according to reports yesterday, James McAtee is a player that Leeds are keeping an eye on. I'm not 100% sure there's much in this, but according to the reports, they say that Manchester City have agreed to let either McAtee or Cole Palmer go out on loan this season, but not both. One can go, one has to stay. McAtee spent last season on loan at Sheffield United in what was a very, very successful loan spell. There are several clubs who would be interested in that, along with the club he was at last year, Sheffield United, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Ajax are also said to be interested in McAtee. It's a long shot one for me, and I don't think it's one Leeds are really looking at, but it has been rumoured, so I thought I'd mention it anyway. Moving on to some little bit of good news and some nice news that's separate to all the transfer madness over the last couple of days. And ex-Leeds United analyst and translator to Marcelo Bielsa, Andreas has a new career move. He has joined up with Central Coast Mariners as a second assistant with some coaching role and some analytics role there. Clavio was speaking yesterday to the Mariners' own in-house media team about the move, talked very highly of his time at Leeds United and of Marcelo Bielsa. Very popular figure when he was at Leeds. He reached out to Nick Montgomery through Instagram and is said to have formed a really good friendship with Nick Montgomery, former Sheffield United midfielder as well. So he has joined Nick Montgomery's team as a second assistant with some coaching responsibilities and some analytics there as well. We wish him all the best in this role and in his future coaching career. So best of luck to you, Andreas, and I hope it goes well for you. Moving on then to players that have been confirmed, and this morning we have good news. Djed Spence has been confirmed as a Leeds United player, signing a 1-year deal with Leeds on loan with a £1 million loan fee up front. There is no obligation or option to buy in this deal for the player, but he does add strong competition at the right back position for Leeds, where we've been a little bit weak there. According to Fabrizio Romano, this signing will now see the end of Cody Drama's time at Leeds, and Leeds will allow Drama to leave either on loan or on a permanent move. Drama is out of contract at the end of the season and isn't, I think you could see from last night's decision at Salford, isn't seen as a player that Leeds are going to use. And you've got to say at this stage, if Marsh didn't use him, Bielsa didn't use him, and now Farke is not using him, it's 3 managers in a row that haven't fancied Cody. But Southampton are said to be very interested in making a move for Cody Drama as well before the end of the window. So you will probably more than likely see Cody leave the club, but Djed Spence comes in to fill that gap and gives us proper competition at right back position between Luke Ayling and now Djed Spence. Moving on to some transfer links, and according to Sky Sports in Scotland, Leeds are now interested in Celtic midfielder Matt O'Reilly. O'Reilly, who is a Danish international who has played for England up until under 16 level. His name gives off the impression that there's Irish connections there, but there's not, actually. More English than anything else. He's made 32 appearances for Celtic last season, scoring 3 goals and adding 3 assists. He's been labelled by Sky Sports as Leeds' alternative to Amiri, but he really isn't the number 10 for me. Matty O'Reilly's played wide for Celtic at times. He's played in kind of midfield roles as well. The goals and assists, 6 goal involvements in a Celtic team that won everything in Scotland pretty much last year, and 32 appearances would suggest that he's not involved in an awful lot around the box, but he's a very highly rated young midfielder as well, and is a good player. He's a very good player, and a player I've enjoyed watching at Celtic and would like to see come to Leeds. I think he'd be a good signing for Leeds. Phil Hay has also come in board with this, and he has confirmed that Leeds do have an interest in the player. Leeds are making moves pretty quickly now and moving on from targets that they had yesterday. And O'Reilly could be a situation where that could develop very quickly over the next 24, 48 hours. It has been said that O'Reilly is very involved with Celtic this season, as he was last season, and it could be a case that Brendan Rodgers doesn't want to sell the player. However, situation Celtic might need to bring in some cash in order to buy some players, so we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Slight side note of interest here on Sam Greenwood. Not a huge amount in this story just yet, but it has popped up this morning from some usual accounts that get some things right, so we'll just make a note of it. According to some of these reports, they are saying that there is interest in the UK in a move for Sam Greenwood away from Leeds. It claims that Preston North End, Stoke City, Middlesbrough and Swansea are all interested in taking the player. Now, it doesn't state whether this would be a loan move for the player or it would be a permanent move away from Leeds United for Sam. Thought Sam did okay last night when he came on, but you would have liked to see him start that game. If the younger players coming into this squad are actually going to make an impact at some point, the games against like Salford and that you want to see them playing, and the fact that they're not playing means they're possibly not in the plans. And again, more midfielders coming in there, which will push them probably down further down the pecking order. So keep an eye on that one over the next couple of days. And then the big link today started off as a rumbling rumour last night from ITV journalist Chris Dawkes, who said that reliable sources that he knows claimed that Leeds were interested in Werder Bremen midfielder Ilya Gruev. Gruev, who is a Bulgarian international, has come through the ranks at Werder Bremen, said to be someone that Daniel Farke is a big fan of and would like to see come to Leeds. The Athletic have also confirmed this morning to add more credibility to this. Phil Hay says that Leeds have made an approach for the midfielder, again, who Daniel Farke rates very, very highly. Hay claims that Glenn Kamara interest is still there, but as of right now, it still hasn't happened. I think Glenn Kamara is the final option, if I'm being really honest there. I think Leeds are looking at different players that they rate higher than Glenn Kamara, and then if they can't get them, the move for Glenn Kamara is sitting there. But there is interest from Middlesbrough and Coventry in Glenn Kamara as well, so that could happen without Leeds making a decision on it. Hay says that Gruev is rated at in and around £4 million, so very doable considering what Leeds are looking at spending on some of the midfielders already this year. Gruev has made 59 appearances for Bremen, not a goal scorer, very much seen as an 8 or a 6, at times can play more defensive, very much a recycling of the ball kind of player, keeps the ball ticking over, simple passes, 4 or 5 yard passes, a lot of them sideways and backwards, but still important in how Daniel Farke plays. According to reports in Germany, the player is absent from training today while he discusses terms on a move with an unnamed club, which that could mean that unnamed club is Leeds. But as of right now, we don't know. But again, there should be more news on this over the next 24 hours. Leeds don't seem to be moving rapidly quick on a lot of these deals with 3 days to go. I still think we need a 10, a midfielder and a left back minimum, if not a second striker. So unless Leeds are going to start rattling in 2 and 3 players a day in the next 2 or 3 days, we could be seeing the end of this. You could be looking at maybe 1 player today and 1 or 2 on deadline day. But the squad is very, very thin, and last night against Salford showed how thin that squad was. So it really does need some bulking up. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Probably will be live tonight with Just Joe. And for the final word about the game, I'm not 100% sure if that's going ahead or not tonight, but keep an eye on Joe's channel if you want a more deeper dive into last night's match. And I'll be back tomorrow with more Leeds news. So until then, have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.